It's the first big proof of the footprints of Islamic State across different states in India. This is an undeniable and chilling reality of the penetration of Islamic State ideology across several states. Just a day ahead of the 7th and the last Uttar Pradesh, as anti-terror squads surround a terror safe house in Lucknow's Thakurganj Haji colony, as gunshots echo in Lucknow, the Islamic State or Daesh imprint in the northern hinterland becomes undeniable. The Lucknow suspected Islamic State terrorist Saifullah, sources say, could also be linked to today's Ujjain train blast. And now Lucknow, Noida and several other cities across North India have been put on a state of red alert.
A chilling terror siege in Lucknow. This terror den in Thakurganj at the center of the anti-terror operation. Gunshots rang out as the anti-terror squad surrounded the house, acting on a tip-off, cordoning off the terror safe house. As the police tried to smoke out the terrorists, they lobbed tear gas shells into the house, facing immediate retaliatory fire from inside. The police took up strategic positions to secure the periphery. On the streets, on rooftops of adjoining houses, commandos pressed into action even as the firing continued. The anti-terror squad officers asked the terrorists to surrender, but he refused to give in, screaming out his wish to attain martyrdom. But now the police had worked out a possible terror link to the ISIS and even the Madhya Pradesh train terror attack. Repeated attempts to flush out the terrorists failed.
This was an anti-terrorist operation. On specific intelligence, the police raided a location to take in a suspect. The latest that we are getting from our sources on ground, and in fact the Inspector General of the anti-terror squad is personally leading the operation. They're asking the suspect, he's a suspected Islamic State activist or a suspected terrorist with a weapon. He's been asked to surrender. He hasn't surrendered. In fact, there's firing going on from both sides.
India Today continued to be the first channel on the ground, reporting from right outside the terror den in Thakurganj.
It is actually a place, a residential area ahead of Thakurganj on the Hardoi road, and that's where the operation is taking place. About 500 meters from here, we can hear off and on gunshots being fired. There is actually intermittent firing that is going on.
अकेला संदिग्ध व्यक्ति ही अंदर है, उसके पास कोई होस्टेज नहीं है, कोई और नहीं है, तो समय हमारे साथ है, कोई हमको जल्दी नहीं है, इसलिए हमने इस व्यक्ति को जिंदा गिरफ्तार करने के लिए चिली बॉम्ब्स का इस्तेमाल किया अंदर, ताकि वो उसको स्मोक आउट करके बाहर निकाल पाए, किंतु वो अभी तक बाहर नहीं निकला है, अंदर से फायर रुक के कर रहा है.
As the anti-terror operation reached its final stage, ISIS terror had served a big terror jolt to India. Just a day before the 7th phase of Uttar Pradesh elections, sending shockwaves across the country and the police rushing to secure the sensitive checkpoints in UP and in neighbouring states.
We cannot reveal the operational details, but as a matter of fact, the security forces are trying their level best. They have used tear gas and chili powder. They're trying the level best to get the terrorists out. With camera person Kripal Singh, this is Mosmi Singh in Lucknow for India Today.
Now, the name of this person is Saifullah. Apparently, 4 boys rented a house in this area. They claimed they had flunked, they had failed in class 12. They wanted to study further and they wanted to get a job. Just a short while back, I spoke to one of the neighbors. Let's listen in.
ये जो है ये एक डेढ़ महीने से यहाँ पर ये मकान में किराए पर रह रहा था.
अच्छा.
हाँ, और बाकी ये 18 से 25 साल की उम्र के लड़के हैं, बगैर दाढ़ी के.
अच्छा.
और मतलब वो साधारण तरीके से रहते थे, कहीं से कुछ पता नहीं, कहीं से किसी को कोई खबर कानो कान नहीं थी कि ये कैसे लोग हैं, कैसे हैं. सामने से निकलते थे गाड़ी से, 2 पहिया गाड़ी से, दुआ सलाम करते थे, लेकिन बातचीत जो है उनसे खुल करके बैठ करके 10-5 मिनट मुझसे खुल करके बातचीत नहीं हुई.
अच्छा.
घुलना मिलना, जी घुलना मिलना नहीं था. ये कह करके रह रहे थे कि हम इंटर फेल हो गए थे और पढ़ाई छोड़ दिए थे और अब हम फिर से दोबारा इंटर करना चाह रहे हैं।
अच्छा।
और प्लस जो है साथ साथ में हम जॉब करेंगे, कहीं नौकरी की भी तलाश में है कि पढ़ाई करें और जो है नौकरी भी करें। तो 3-4 लड़के थे, लेकिन फिर वक्त मौके पर शायद वो एक ही मौजूद है वहाँ पर, वही सैफुल्लाह खान।
Now, not much is known of Saifullah, but police sources say that this operation is now in an advanced stage. They are once again trying to persuade this youngster to surrender, but there is no response from Saifullah's side, from inside this premises. But what more do we know of Saifullah? Well, this Thakurganj terror suspect has been living in this area for about a month and a half. According to the Madhya Pradesh police, that's the information they shared with the Uttar Pradesh police. He is a part of an Islamic State module in UP. He is armed with a pistol but has access to additional ammunition, not just one set of ammunition, but he has access to more ammunition. He has refused to surrender so far, despite the police repeatedly reaching out to him. He's been living as a tenant in the house of Badshah. Badshah lives in Saudi Arabia. The caretaker let out that house to 4 youngsters, which was then apparently converted into an Islamic State safe house. Some of them, of course, were living in this area since 2014. The police are now in touch with Saifullah's family, including his brother, and they are trying to persuade him to surrender. Okay, the police have now finally decided to take this operation forward. Gas cutters have now been used to break the gate. The police still want to catch this suspect alive. The district magistrate of Lucknow has also reached this location. What sources were telling India Today's Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu that National Security Guard commandos were also on standby. They could move in to assist the anti-terror squad should the need be. But sources in anti-terror squad telling India Today they are well in control of the situation. And there you see curious youngsters, though they are some distance from the encounter site of where police have surrounded this house. The anti-terror squad had fired stun grenades inside, they'd fired chili grenades inside, they'd also fired tear gas shells inside, but there is no response. Now, within a few minutes of this encounter that took place in Lucknow, or police surrounded this area, they fired tear gas. The police claim they did not open fire. It's only the suspect who was firing at them. A clear link has emerged between this suspected terrorist Saifullah, holed up inside this house, and the Ujjain train blast earlier today. Now, India Today tries to join the dots. The Islamic State terror trail. We're trying to get you loose ends. We're joining dots from Hyderabad to Kerala to Bhopal to Kanpur and now to Lucknow.
By late Tuesday afternoon, it was clear that the Ujjain train blast bore a clear terror stamp. Sources say the Ujjain strike was just a trial for a bigger terror spectacle. The first input came from Hyderabad, a tip-off about terrorist movement between Bhopal and Lucknow. Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh ATS worked jointly, leading to 3 big terror busts. The ISIS self-styled Amir Atir Muzaffar alias Al-Qasim was nabbed in Kanpur after the Bhopal terror strike.
कार्रवाई की गई थी जिसमें अभी 3 लोगों को डिटेन किया गया है. उनसे हुई प्रारंभिक पूछताछ के अनुसार वे 3 उसमें involved थे.
The police nabbed 3 terror suspects in Bhopal, another one in Kanpur and in Lucknow's Thakurganj. The police tracked down the suspected terrorists who were caught on tape at Bhopal's Piparia toll plaza as they got off a red bus. With Shiv Pujan Jha and Mausami Singh in Lucknow, Hemendra Sharma in Bhopal and Arvind Ojha in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today's Hemendra Sharma now joins us with the latest on this big story. Also joining us is Shiv Poojan Jha with more on police operations. But Hemendra, help us join the dots. Now, what exactly transpired that Madhya Pradesh police arrested some people and then alerted the Uttar Pradesh police? What's the link?
Well, the Madhya Pradesh police was alerted by a tip-off from Kerala. They were told that there was specific information that there was some movement between Bhopal and Hoshangabad and Piparia, and in between there was a train blast that happened between Bhopal and Ujjain. Initially it was suspected that it happened because of a mobile blast, but later it turned out that it was indeed a terror strike. And police, that included cops from the ATS, they tracked down these 5 suspects from Bhopal to Piparia, and in Piparia they were detained, and on questioning it was revealed that they were having association across the country, including with people in Kanpur and in Lucknow as well. This information was shared with ATS UP, and thereafter this encounter happened in Lucknow. As far as their involvement in the Ujjain blast is concerned, according to Madhya Pradesh ATS, this is being looked into, but prima facie it appears that this was just a trial blast and they were looking for a bigger blast across the country, and the exact location of that blast that they were planning is not yet known, but investigators are still looking into it, and they are saying that it's not just UP, Kanpur, Bhopal or Ujjain. Their people are also, they are fanned out across the country, and it's just because that one of these associates of theirs opened fire on the police in Lucknow that this encounter happened. Otherwise, they are trying to track their associates in other parts of the country as well. And there are at least 6 people who are still at large, and the police and central agencies are looking for them.
Okay, at least 6 people still at large, so there's a wider network that the police want to bust, and that is why, Shiv Poojan, it becomes extremely critical to take Saifullah alive, because he apparently, according to police sources, is an extremely crucial link as far as this module is concerned.
Extremely crucial link, and some vital information have already come from the suspect that has been arrested from Kanpur, and apparently now the ATS team, armed with night vision equipments, they have already put in generator, and they are trying to cut across the roof to drill a hole in the roof so that they are in a position to put in some kind of tear gas shell or some kind of chili bomb, so that to neutralize Saiful, because Saiful has not been responding to the repeated attempts of the ATS as well as the UP police to surrender. He has not been surrendering, and time and again, whenever the UP police has been trying to approach the main gate where he is presently locked inside, he has been firing. Over 20 fires have been fired from inside the building where he presently is holed in. So right now the entire effort of the ATS is to drill a hole and put in some kind of explosive so that he can be neutralized. This is bound to take some more time, but then some vital information, Gaurav, has come from the suspect who has been arrested from Kanpur. Apparently the police is also trying to get in some kind of information that there was lots of VVIP movement in the recent times, because this is election bound state. There was the Prime Minister, there was the movement of Rahul Gandhi. Even these aspects are presently being very, very closely analyzed by the ATS, as well as we are also getting information that possibly the NIA may also join in the investigation soon.
Okay, stay with me for a moment. Maushmi, operations currently in an advanced stage, and ATS, you've been speaking to your sources in the Uttar Pradesh police. Do they need the NSG, or are they on top of the situation?
Gaurav, right now the situation looks as if the operation might end anytime soon, because you know the ambulances are being readied. We were in that lane and we saw that there were directions to the people who are manning those ambulances to ready the ambulance, and the drill is already underway. So we are told that there has been no return of firing from the suspect. That is one thing is clear, that the suspect either is unconscious or is just silent. So the ATS is looking at that angle, and even as we talk, fresh force is being infused in the area where the operation is taking place. That is the Haji Colony, a part of the old Lucknow on Hardoi Road. So we did try and speak to the top police officials who are involved with the operation. So the hint that we are getting from them is that the operation might take a couple of hours and not longer, because they do believe that they're looking at that possibility of catching the suspect alive, and that will be one big huge achievement for the police forces, because clearly they would look at the tactical advantage of having a terror suspect alive and looking at the larger terror network that is connecting the dots right from Kanpur to Madhya Pradesh to across the corners of the country. So really, as we have been getting information that the links could actually be connected to the IS. So this is a part of this is understood that this is a part of the larger terror network, and that's one reason why this operation, which started at 3:30, Gaurav, it's been more than 5 hours. It has taken so long because right from the beginning, the agencies are looking at zeroing down on Saifullah, the terror suspect, and catching him alive.
They want to take him alive. They could have taken him down, but they do not want to eliminate this suspected terrorist. They want to question him. There's a wider network that they want to bust. But Shiv Pujan, the person who was arrested in Kanpur, now he's also seen as one of the suspected ringleaders of this module that was operating in the Kanpur-Lucknow belt. His interrogation, and apparently there's a team of the Intelligence Bureau that has also rushed to Kanpur to interrogate him. What has his interrogation revealed so far?
Oh, well, not much details available to us at this crucial juncture. I know for sure that the investigating agencies do not want to divulge much information, but the kind of questions which this particular suspect has been subjected to, we know for sure that apparently he is being questioned at length to ascertain the various sleeper modules which exist not only in UP but in various other parts of the country. Whether this particular module was also tasked to target the VVIP movement in the election-bound state of UP. What exactly was the role and what exactly was the brief given to this particular module about the blast which took place?
Okay.
These are the brief questions. The outcome of these questions after a brief round of interrogation is not yet known to us, Gaurav. And I think in the days to come possibly would be in a position to put all the loose pegs here and there and form a pattern as to how exactly did it happen.
Okay. And Hemendra, as far as the Madhya Pradesh police are concerned, it's a success for them, the fact that they were not only able to nab 5 people, arrest 3 people, but they also claim that they were able to bust a module that was operating across Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Do we have details about who these 5 people are who've been detained?
Well, police have not yet divulged their names, but one thing that we know is that all of them are closely interconnected and linked with each other. And it's also not clear whether any one of these 5 detained in Madhya Pradesh was actually living in Lucknow, because the information that is coming out is that Saifullah was not alone. He had 4 to 5 other people staying with him. So whether they are part of the same gang is not yet known. But one thing that the police is saying is that all of them are closely linked with each other, and it is on the basis of the interrogation of these 5 that the police were actually able to zero down the Lucknow suspect. Also, the police are claiming that there are other people across the country that they have named. Their antecedents are being verified, and also attempts are being made to reach them. And the encounter in Lucknow happened just because the suspect opened fire on the police.
Okay.
Elsewhere it does not happen. So police silently is going about doing its job. Once the results are out there, they would be known to us as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that is where it's a success story as far as the police are concerned, because the tip-off that the Madhya Pradesh police shared with the Uttar Pradesh police led to an operation in which one suspected terrorist actually opened fire at the police. If he didn't have something to hide, why would he open fire at the security forces, especially when the security forces have been trying to take him alive? Now, the Islamic State, how widespread is their network in India? Is the government actually trying to downplay the threat? Because let's look at the numbers. in 2016, that's the year gone by, 50 Islamic State suspects were nabbed, and that's the maximum number. They were arrested in Maharashtra, in Telangana, in Karnataka, in Kerala. The footprints of Islamic State found in Assam. The 2014 Bardhawan blast, there were 56 members of the Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh who were arrested, and they were also trying to link up to the Islamic State terrorists. Now, Jaish-e-Mohammed has also tried to operate in this area along the India-Bangladesh border. 10 to 12 Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh JEM members, they were arrested. The Madhya Pradesh police claims that they've arrested one person in the year 2015. He was arrested in Ratlam, and 2 other people were nabbed by the Gujarat Anti-Terror Squad, and this was just in February this year, in 2017, Wasim and Naeem. So are these, when you try and join the dots, is the government downplaying the threat, or is the government actually successful in neutralizing the threat before these terrorists are able to succeed? We will continue to track that story very closely. The operation is in an advanced stage in Lucknow, in Uttar Pradesh, and India Today correspondents will continue to get you the latest. But that is all I have time for on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.